Hello and welcome to Pacific Northwest Crafter. My name is Crystal and this is my channel where I talk about what I've been crafting the last couple of weeks. Mostly cross stitching, but sometimes there's some quilting and knitting in there as well. I wanted to start off today by saying thank you for all the new subscribers. I don't know if it's because I've been on Flosstube for a year now or what I did differently to get into the algorithm, but I had a ton of new viewers last week, or last 2 weeks when I filmed. And I want to thank everybody for watching and thank you for those that are new subscribers. I hope you enjoyed what you saw to subscribe and that you continue liking the videos that I produce. Because I have so many new subscribers, I thought I'd give a little background about me and such and kind of catch you up on things. So again, my name is Crystal. I live in the Pacific Northwest. I live along the Oregon coast. It is gorgeous up here. I love the woods and I live near the ocean, so it's the best of both worlds. I moved here about 5 years ago from Phoenix, Arizona, so the dry 120 some degree temperatures there. I had about enough of it, so I wanted some greenery and just cool weather, and I'm loving it here, though I am cold most days still, but it's much better than being so super hot in Phoenix, though Phoenix does have its good points as well. But yeah, so I live here on the coast. I live by myself with my little dog, Timber. You might hear him pitter-pattering in the background. Usually he's quiet during my filming time, so he's a little Dachshund Terrier mix, and he turns 6, I think it is, the end of October. Yeah, I've been cross-stitching since I was young. I learned on counted canvas with my grandma and everything. I've been in and out of it for a while, but then I really got burnt out on one project because I was of the mindset of monogamous stitching. You only could work on one project, and working on Ada, and I was doing a really big piece that is still not finished, but we won't talk about that now. That had a lot of back stitching in it and everything, and I'm just like, I had enough of it. So I got out of cross stitching for a good long while. And then I just happened upon it last year, or not last year, in 2023, fall of 2023 or so. I did scrapbooking and crafting and card making. I did a lot of that. I still have a lot of those supplies and do once in a while. Cross stitching has kind of taken over and everything, but I was watching Nicole Spohr because of her card making stuff, and then she was doing cross stitching. I kind of got into it. I did it like, let me try this again, because now there's all the different the hand dyed flosses and such, and all the different fabrics and linen. And I'm like, okay, let me try it. And I love doing it. The style that I participated in, and it's just been, last 2 years, I've been working like crazy on cross stitching. I have a very stressful job, and I decided in 2024 that I would try to craft something every day to help with my stress level and to try to get a creative outlet and do something that's for me. So I have actually crafted, since 2024, I've crafted something, either cross stitching or knitting, every day except for 3 days, I think it was 2 or 3 days when I had a week-long vacation in Disney World in 2024. I am a huge Disney fan, so you might see there's a Mickey there, and you can kind of see Chubby, the little bird up there that made it. It's a popcorn bucket that I made into a planter. So, yeah, that is me in a nutshell. I cross stitch on mostly linen. Linen nowadays. I have that one project on Ada that's still left over I haven't gotten back to. And yeah, I've started out on the 28 count, moved up to 32, 36, and 40. This year I branched out and I got some 46 count, and I'm really liking that, though I do need to have some good lighting. And on any of them, you get older in age, I wear contacts, but it's that range where you need contacts but also readers to be able to see up front. So I do use a magnifier. I love my Halo Go is awesome. So yeah, and I don't have a favorite. I had a lot of questions on the last one too, so I'm trying to answer some of those in between here. I don't have necessarily a favorite fabric line. I do seem to like a lot of the Atomic Ranch and Cedar River linens, but there's a whole variety. you'll see later I'm part of the Be Stitch Me Fabric of the Month Club, so I'm getting more of their stuff. And everything. As far as flosses, I really do like to work with the hand dye, the hand dyed flosses, and I like the variegation. You see, that's all the hand dyed stuff. My DMC I keep someplace else. I really like Weeks Dye Works, though it does seem to be a little bit brittle, but I like the variegation in that one. And I'm branching out into silks. I've worked recently with some Gloriana silks as well as a Valdani. You'll see that was first in my whips, or actually that's a start. So yeah, that's about it for me in a nutshell. Happy to answer any questions I didn't answer that you have pressing questions and such. But yeah, so let's get on to what I've been working on in crafting. There was, between my last Flosstube and now, there was a long Labor Day weekend, and I quilted a lot during that. I'll talk about that a little bit later and such. And then I've been working on some projects. I did do some more FFOing. I got three projects done with that, and then I started 3 projects, but then I did have one finished. So the way my videos usually work, I give you maybe a little bit of a life update, not as much as I've been going on this morning. And that was the other thing. Usually I film on Friday nights. It was a challenging week, so I wasn't feeling it yesterday, and so I'm like, you know what? I'll just get up on Saturday, register for Primrose Cottage's, upcoming retreat in 2026. Hope I get in. And then film a Flosstube and post it. So yeah, so we talk about a little bit of life update. Then I do my FFOs, then finishes, any starts I might have. I like to start a lot of things. And then what I've been working on whips. If there's a giveaway, it's thrown in there. And then, because I do have some giveaway winners from last time, so that'll be that. And then we talk about haul, and then I put haul and then knitting and my other craft projects at the end, in case you're just here for the cross stitching. I get that, and then maybe some plans at the end. So that's it in a nutshell, usually, of how this goes. So let's start with the FFOs that I've done. The ones that I've worked on, the ones that I finished between my last episode and now, because I'm really trying to get that. I have a pile of FFOs. I'm trying to get that number down. But I tried my hand at some circle finishes. I don't have the patterns here in front of me. I'm sure you've seen these ones. They're all hands-on design patterns. They were all from her unofficial 4 3/4, her unofficial circle series. She has a few of them in there, and I've stitched a lot of them. I got one in the works, and then I got one that's to be done, the gather in. But the first one that I did, let's see here, was a classic haunt. Let's put on this side. So all of these, like I said, are hands-on design patterns. They're all stitched on 32 count. I usually, if it's 32 count or lower, I do 2 strands over 2. If it's 36 or higher, I usually do 1 strand over 2. And so I used all the call for floss. This one, I don't know if I used the call for fabric or if it was a variation of what I could find that was the purple. I know the called for is a purple, but I want to say it was a hand dyed and I couldn't find it. So I'm pretty sure this one's 32 count orchid. At the end of the video, while it's posting and loading up, because sometimes it takes a while, I type out all the notes. I type out show notes and I put that in the description once it's uploaded. And I'll try really hard to put in the designer, the fabric I've used, and if I use the call for flosses or not. But if there's anything ever that I didn't put in there, please feel free to reach out and ask me, and I'm happy to answer. So again, going back to this one, this is a classic haunt. It's on 32-inch linen with all the call for flosses. It's all Weeks Dye Works. And I stitched this up last year. It's a cute little Halloween pattern. And then from Hands On Design, they have some finishing boards. The little pre-cut circles on it. They're not sticky board, but it was finishing boards. So what I did is I kind of just follow the different tutorials there are. I put 2 layers of batting in here, and then I laced, that's the word I wanted, laced the fabric on the linen onto the board. And then I found some fabric in my stash that was really cute, and I laced on this cotton fabric. This does not have any batting underneath it. And then I got some DMC 2 colors and just made some cording. Followed a combination of, I think it's Linda Pfeiffer and Helen D have some really good tutorials, so I followed those. Made the cording, made a little hanger on the end, and I got some ribbons for my stash. And then got this cute little bat pin. So again, that one is a classic haunt. Tip that I learned on this one, hopefully, I think I sorted it out. So it said that I put 2 layers of batting in here. When I put the pin in for the bat, be careful putting the pin in. I put it in and I accidentally bunched up the batting in here, and so then there was a bump over here, and so I think I've gotten it out, but I was like, oh no, because you can't undo it to do it. When they were, let me see what else I said. The two to put the 2 together, I think I used either tape, like the double stick tape, or I just hot glued it together. I know to put the cording on, I just hot glued it. I just started at one point and I put just a little bit of hot glue to get all the way around on that one. So again, that's a classic haunt. The next one was Botanical Bee. That was one of last year's releases. And this is on, again, 32 count, and it's on the called for fabric, which is a fabric, I want to say it's Juniper, but it might be something else. It is a Fabrics by Stephanie fabric, and it's all the called for Weeks Dye Works. And this one, oops, just had some cute fabric in my stash that I thought went well. I made some cording from 2 of the DMC colors. I stitched it in the classic, or the Weeks Dye Works, the hand variegated, but then she's really good about giving you the DMC conversion. So I just picked 2 of those colors and got those flosses to make the cording. And then again, found some little ribbon in my stash. I don't have the little bee, but the bee pin yet. It's on my wish list of things to buy. But I found this little pin that's in my stash of sewing stuff. And, okay, so see here, see how that's if I push the pin down, it's bunching some of the batting. This is the one that I've done it. So just be careful. Learn from my mistake. And then the last one was from this year's Nashville Needleworks Market, and it is Ladybug Picnic. And this one is on 32 count Pomegranate by Fabrics by Stephanie, with all the call for Weeks Dye Works. And this one again has, there's like the model has a little Lazy Susan, I think it is, pin from just another button company, but I don't have that one. So again, just found a pin that I had in my stash, and some cute little gingham and some DMC cording. So that was my first time doing a full round finish, and it wasn't that bad. I like the pre-cut. I think it would have been hard if I had to cut my own rounds from cardboard, but so it was nice that they had the pre-cut ones and everything. But yeah, I'll look forward to doing more of those. So that was my FFOs that I've had. I've had one finish since the last time, and it was my summer stitch. So what I've been doing is, last year I started, and so this year I continued it, that I pick a pattern. It's been Brenda Gervais patterns that I will stitch starting on the first day of the season. So on the first day of summer, I started this piece, and then my goal is to finish it before the last day of the season. And I actually made progress and finished it well in advance, because the last day of summer is not until the 20th of September. So I did My Home Sweet Home by Brenda Gervais with Thy Needle and Thread. A cute little pillow. And I finished it. So this is not stitched on the call for fabric. What I used was, wrote down my notes here, is 36 count Cuppa Mocha by Miss Crescent's Crowne. 36 count is the call for, but I didn't have the fabric, so I like to floss with this fabric. Again, it's Cuppa Mocha by Miss Crescent's Crowne. I got this when I visited the attic earlier this year, and I'm pretty sure they were saying that that fabric dye, Miss Crescent's Crowne, is no longer dyeing fabric, so use it sparingly. But yeah, it turned out really well. I used all the call for flosses. They're all Weeks Dye Works, I believe, and some DMC. The only pain in the butt part was this little flagpole is 1/1 stitching, as is this tiny, my was I forgot to put the little flagpole in here. As I'm saying this out, I have to do some back stitching. That little flag is all, can we see it? Let me put my face. Can you see it now? It's 1/1 stitching. And somebody's walking by my house, and so timber needs to protect the place. So there is that. I'll probably be making it into a pillow with some little rickrack around it, but we shall see. My plans to start in fall are, there's one that's kind of seems to be in the same series, and it's, I want to say Bee. It's great. It has grateful in the name. It's a point over there because that's all where my kitted up projects are. It's over there, so it's got plans in the making for that. Then I started 3 different projects. I wanted to start some things, so I did. The first one that I started was Halloween Cauldron by Primrose Cottage. This was in their Sip and Stitch box last year for Halloween that I got. Love their Sip and Stitch boxes, but I didn't get a chance to start on it until this year. So I do have the piece, the hoop to finish it. I need to paint it still, but there's that. And I worked on it a couple days, and it was going really quick. So this is stitched on 32 count Vintage Stormy Night. And it's using all the call for DMC floss. And like I said, it's going really quickly. So I'm hoping to have this one finished soon. But that's where I am so far. I have it in this cute little project bag that I made myself. I wasn't intending it for it to be Batman necessarily. I was going more just for using up what I had in my stash for the colors to make a bat piece and the moon, but it's turning out to be my Batman piece. But I like it. It's a cute little project bag, but what I have in here too is the other patterns from the Sip and Stitch box. So that was their Halloween Sip and Stitch last year. And I am stitching them on the same kind of fabric, but I have plans to stitch the No Tricks, Just Treats, make that into a pillow that they give you the finishing pieces for the pillow as well. And they had, I have them in here too. I'm trying to make sure I don't wrinkle the fabric, because do I iron before I show you? Not necessarily. But they had these cute little floss drops on there as well. In the box. So again, love doing their Sip and Stitch boxes. I think they have a fall one coming out later in September, I think is what they're saying. Primrose is on my mind a lot today because they're having the retreat, and the sign up was first time this morning. So good luck to all that are signing up, and I'm fingers crossed that I got in. So looking forward to that one. The other piece that I started it is a free stitch. So I don't have the pattern for you. I have part of the pattern, but it's a PDF and it's on my iPad, which is what I'm filming on. It is the Fat Quarter Shop's Mystery Sal. So they have Mystery Sal usually for like the fall, Halloween, and then they have one for Christmas as well. There's one ongoing that's for Christmas. I'm not doing that one, but I am doing the fall one. Along with their cross-stitching sal, they also have a quilt along as well. I almost signed up for the quilt along, but I didn't. I I have a lot of quilts in progress, so I restrained myself. But this one I couldn't because I love fall. I love like starting fall and then all the way through Christmas season and into Valentine's Day. Love stitching all the stuff for that. And this one, I started it. I got good progress, but I'm still not done with week 1. Week 2 is out, so I think I might be working on this one tonight or today, so that way I can get a good start. I have a tendency also to have strands of floss. So you'll see this one. So this one, I learned that I really do need to do this. I stitch some of the border and then I stitch some of the words, and I double check myself because I got all this done and then I got to here and then I started up like, oh yeah, great, I'm gonna start on in this part, and I got to here. So I started with like the I and I got all the way over to here and like got all the words done, and then the border is like here, and then I said, oh, let's double check, and yeah, I was off and I had to unpick all this orange and redo it. So I'm not quite as far as I want to. It says fall is in the air all down here as well. So I am working on that, and I am loving this fabric. So the fabric is new to me, person. It is on 30, I'm reading what it is, 36 count Darling David by Those Missing Stitches. And I still have the tag on here, so let me find it for you. Oop. This is my tag, but the tag that comes with the fabric is, oop, it's upside down. Here we go. Those Missing Stitches. And I was lucky enough that I got to go to StitchCon this past June, and maybe I might go next year. We'll see. I ended up work happened and I signed up late, so we'll see if I get it or not. But she was there at StitchCon weekend A, and she was nice enough and she was passing out samples of her linen, and I was lucky enough that I got a piece. And so this is her information, and she had all different counts, and I think she may have Aida as well. I'm not sure. But this one again is Darling David. It's got some great modeling on it. Let's see, give you a piece that doesn't have any stitching on it so you can see it a little bit better. Yeah. So I'm enjoying the stitching on that one. And hopefully I'll keep progress with it. We'll see, because I started last year's Fat Quarter Shop Stitch Along and the Halloween one, and yeah, it's still not done. But you know, I like having projects, different variety of what I want to work on and pick up. And I'm keeping this in a lovely bag that I got from Carrie, Tiger Lily. She was lucky enough to meet her in person at StitchCon, and lucky enough to get one of these bags that I love. And actually, if you like the pattern, she also has the pattern. It comes like 3 different sizes. The Queen Takes the Crown, the Queen bag. It has the word queen in it and has the word bag, queen bag. So I made that bag as well. That was a kit in a tutorial, but now I think she may have the pattern. It might be out until next year. So, but she has some great project bags, and I will talk more about her project bags in a little bit later too. The next thing that I started was one that I've been wanting to start since I got it. So many things to start. But September 1st, Labor Day, seemed like the appropriate day to me for whatever reason. But it was Be Brave by the Antique Needleworker. Was lucky enough to meet her as well. And at StitchCon, Shelly was great. Sweetest person as well. Everybody at StitchCon was great. So if you have a chance to go. But Be Brave, which was also a giveaway for if you were visiting in my last Flosstube, and we'll talk about that later. But I started this one. I am not using the Call for fabric or the Call for floss. I got some Valdani floss, which I haven't used before, and I got that in like the Primrose Cottage's free stitch kit Friday from July. They had that were patriotic colors. So I started using those colors, and I'm using it on 36 count raw. Is it 36 count or 32? I want to say it's 36 count raw. But yeah, it's coming up to be a really quick stitch. And I want to try to do everything in silks, but I don't have that many silks, and I don't know if my local needle shop, which is Acorns and Threads, local being like an hour and a half away, if they have Valdani or not. So I'm looking into it, but I did notice that Primrose Cottage has some Valdani floss on their website. So that is how it is, and that's only, I think that was only 2 days of stitching on that one, so it's coming up quick. So make that into a cute little pillow. Then there was 3 other whips that I was working on. One of them is something that I started for my birthday this year that I've been working on, and I was around my birthday. I took a quick little trip to Phoenix and was lucky to have some time to go to the attic. So it was the first time I've been to the attic, even though I lived in Phoenix for years and years and years. I wasn't cross stitching and didn't know about it then, so I had to do a visit so I could go see them. And the store has so much eye candy, and though I know they're known for working on like 56 count and such, like I'm not there yet. So, but I braved it and I got some 46 count. So I got some 46 count linen, and I got my first silk flosses as well. So what I am working on, I wanted to try something new all around. So I'm working on, I have to see it to say it. Felicitas y Recados. I may be butchering the pronunciation, but it is this pattern, and it is charted in Classic Colorworks, just their normal cotton line. But I switched it up to some silks, and they were nice enough to help me with it. There's only one that I'm going to use. I think it's Garden Trellis that has like just a couple stitches that I'm going to use the cotton for because I already had it. But yeah, and there's some cute. Where did my board go? I'm like, oh, I've lost my board. Oh, there it is. I got buried underneath the projects. So, there I am. And this is 46 count, Just the Ticket by Tabby Cat. It's a great little, there we are, creamy color. And this is the first project that I started on 46 count, though I have finished some stuff on 46 count as well. I do need good lighting and such for this one. I stopped. I was going to finish this, and then I got tired, and I've learned that frogging on 46 count is not fun whatsoever. So put pause in it. I'll come back to it. But I was like only up to here, and I had just a little bit of flour, so I really started, I ate my vegetables. I was doing the border first. I only have just a little bit of border left, so I was working on a lot of the flowers, and I'm loving how it's turning out. Let me see. You can see it better. And here are all the flosses. I got this cute little floss card there, and those are all the flosses that I'm using. So, like that project. So I was in the mood one day to stitch on that, so I worked on that a little bit. And then, making sure I'm not losing my stuff here. Keep trying to keep some of the projects together. Then, you know, it's still been kind of nice weather out. Today's the first day where it's really feeling like fall. It's only in the high 60s here and cloudy, but everybody's stitching on the fall and Halloween, and I've really gotten into that. So pulled out some of my fall whips, and one of them that pulled out a fall and Halloween whip, and the fall one that I got, I think of it as fall. It's summer fall kind of mix. Tomato Hill by Plum Street. And I'm super close to getting this one done too. So this one And this is stitched on 32 count. Can't remember if it's 32 or 36. 32 count Cafe au lait by Fiber on a Whim. And I'm loving how it's turning out. I'm trying to have the fill-in for this and the fill-in for the house, and then just a little bit more with the pumpkin or the tomatoes and a little bit over here. And the crow up here. Lots of fill-in. So I was trying to get the innards of the house so I could work around the tomatoes and so forth. The only thing is, I saw somebody else do it and I really liked it. So if you see the pattern, it has that little cat in there, which has some little 1/1 stitching in its face. I'm not that fond of cats. They're nice, but I'm not overly fond of cats. And so somebody else I saw, I can't remember who though, put a pumpkin there, or a tomato. I keep on thinking they're pumpkins. I got pumpkins on the brain. Put a tomato there instead, and I like that. So what I'm going to do is I was stitching all the other tomatoes, and then whichever other tomato variety I liked, I was going to put one of those right here too instead of the cat, and then fill in the grass area and make that into a cute little pillow. So hopefully one more stitching session and that one will be done. And another one that I have really close to a finish that I was working on was Halloween Alphabet by Primrose Cottage. This was part of their Halloween releases last year. And I am stitching this. I'm pretty darn sure this is the called for. What was it called for? Yep, 32 count vintage country mocha. And there we are. I'm using all the call for flosses, which are classic Colorworks and Weeks Dye Works. Weeks Dye Works and classic Colorworks. So where I stopped last year, I was right to, I think, the L. So I had most of this. I didn't have, had like a little bit of the H and a little bit of the L or M done. And then I've worked on it just a couple of nights and I got all of that done. So close to having a finish. I just have a couple more letters and these little houses down here. And then I can put this in a cute little frame, which this series also came with on the other side of this fabric. I finished that one last year. It was Halloween quilt. And then in my cute bag that I made and everything last year, my project bag that I made, also have the Halloween Quaker that goes with it. So I want to start that one up as well. Love all the Quakers from Primrose Cottage. But yeah, so that's what I've been working on as far as cross stitching the last couple of weeks. There's a lot of them that are really close to being finished, so I want to try and maybe focus on those to get some of them done and have them in my FFO pile, and then I can have more FF pillows. I do a lot of pillow finishes, but I like having them in little dough bowls, and I do them in batches so that way more efficient in my head for some reason. But we'll work on that. Let's see what else is on my agenda. So the next up, I'm really grateful. Hold on just a sec. One sec. Put those in the table behind me. Really grateful for everybody that was watching my last video. Like I said, usually my videos only get like a few hundred of watches, and I like at 4,000 views. So blows my mind. So grateful for everybody that's watched and all the lovely comments and everything. It's great that you enjoy what you're seeing. I'm happy about that, and that we're stitching the same things. And it's really cool to hear people and say that I inspire them to try different things, or like, oh, I didn't see that, because it's warm and fuzzies. And thank you for watching, and I appreciate every one of you. That's what I enjoy watching other Flosstubes, is getting other ideas and so forth. And yeah, I'm glad to share mine as well. And so I did have some giveaways on my last one, and so I wanted to announce the winners. The first one that I had was Be Brave by Antique Needleworkers. Again, cute little flame. She has a whole series of BE different phrases and such. I believe There may be 7 now. I know there's 6, and I think she just released another one, but so there might be 7. But the winner of that, the BE Brave, is at K State Stitcher Jamie H. I'll hold that up in case I'm misstating it. And with all the winners, please reach out to me send me a message on Instagram. Once this is posted, give it a little bit and I will add into the details my Instagram handle, which is crystal_PNW crafter, and then all the details about the projects I talk about, and just shoot me a message in Instagram, and then with your name, what you want, and how to send this to you, your mailing address, and I will get that out into the mail as soon as I can. So again, there's the winner of BE Brave. The next pattern that I had up was Autumn Fall by Textile. Am I saying it yet? Textile Crafts. I stitched this one in some great variegated floss on some dark green fabric. It is in my pile of things to be FFO'd, so hopefully I'll get that done for the upcoming fall season. But the winner of Autumn Leaf is Southern Louisiana Stitcher. There's that. And then the last one that I have that I had as a giveaway is Away We Ride by Blackbird Designs. And this one I stitched up last year, and I made my own conversion to Pirate Robin Floss, which is now available on Pirate Robin's website on Etsy. It's Etsy, and she has a floss pack for it. And Away We Ride by Blackbird Designs, and I have it to show you because there's a lot of questions about it, so I wanted to show it again. But the winner of that is Bonnie Schaefer 3154. So there's that name again. And again, please reach out to me via instant message on Instagram, and I'll send this along your way. So the questions I had were about the conversion. So Away We Ride, I stitched it on 40 count dark cobblestone. I don't know, I don't have the information about that, who it is. But again, here, side by side. The call for on this is all Gentle Arts. And I was watching Thread Gremlins, and they were starting it with Pirate Robin Floss, and I liked what I was seeing, and so I jumped on and I switched it all over to Pirate Robin Floss. And that is what it looks like. And then the conversion, I do have it on my Instagram. You know what? I was going to do this and then I didn't. I'm going to write myself a note. I was going to pin it on my Instagram so that way it's easy for everybody to find. I posted it last year when I finished it up. I kind of monogamously stitched on this one and got all done and like think, is it framed yet? No, but so pin to Instagram, Away We Ride. But in case you want it right now, this is my conversion. Let me see if I can get this. Without showing you the pattern. There we go. All right. So, Away We Ride. So here's all the symbols in the Gentle Arts, but I just wrote out my symbols and then my colors that I used. Some of them, did I use twice? No, I switched around. Some of Pirate Robin's flosses are heavily variegated, which is great, but where they were landing, I wanted to use certain parts of it. So I did, some of them I selectively picked what parts of the floss to use. But that is I'm trying to pause here. I'm going to pause and hold still so if you want to take a screenshot, you can. Yeah, I really, really, really like bogwitch. That's like a dark green, black green. It's, oh, that one's a really good one. Um, but so I used that in the border, but I didn't want my crows to be black green, so I used, I think it's raven. I need my glasses to read all that, and I don't there. So, um, but I used a dark, strictly black for the crows on it, and yeah, loved how it turned out. So let me know if you've stitched Away We Ride or not, and yeah, but the winner of the giveaways, again, reach out and we'll get that done. I might have more giveaways. I was we'll see how well I get in sending these out and such, in my efficiency, but there might be some more giveaways in the future. It's hit and miss on that one. I like to give, if I have extra patterns or things I'm not going to stitch and such, and I know I do need to clean up my craft room and have a lot of crafty stuff, which you always need, right? You never know what you're going to need. And speaking of more crafty stuff, I have haul, of course. I was making a lot of, trying to do a lot of finishes. Last video had tons of finishes, and I was running out of some trim. Not running out, but didn't have the trim that I wanted. So I placed an order with Ladybug Creates. She has a store on Etsy. Love her trims and everything. So I got a few of those. I got some vintage half ruler, or vintage ruler half inch. Got some sandy gold pom-pom. I was thinking that would be really cute for some bee stitches. I got some licorice pom-pom. Again, that was intense, is for bee stitches, but when I got it, it might be a little bit too dark for the bee stitch that I wanted to finish. So we'll see. Then I got some ribbon. I got Union because I have a holiday hoopla that I want to finish, and I want some blue ribbon, as well as Grubby Jack because it's Halloween season. So yeah, love her her trims. So I got some of those, and then I got the only other little piece of haul I got was my Be Stitch Me Fabric of the Month. I joined. This is my second one. So I joined a couple months ago, and I'm in their neutral club, and I get 36 count. So this time it was peanut. And it's got some great, it's like a creamy color, and it's got some great modeling in it. It's one side. There we go. So like some parts are really modeled and other parts are not. I like that. That way you know, like you can pick and choose what part you want for your piece. Like sometimes I like a lot of it, and sometimes like, no, I just want a little bit. So love that fabric and the pieces I'm getting in that. Some other things, I bought a lot of the Primrose Cottage Halloween and a couple of fall things, so that's on its way to me, as well as my next Be Stitch Me of the Month club. And yeah, there's some things I'm debating wise. Chantel's 141, she has for this month, you pre-ordered the mystery ornament box. I've gotten her mystery box in 2024, and then last year she started where it's half ornaments and half patterns, and I got that last year. So that is what it is again. This year it's half patterns and half ornaments. I don't know. I'm debating it. I probably will end up buying it because I'll have FOMO, but have I actually stitched any of the patterns or used the boards yet? No. So, yeah, we'll see. But I do like having them in my stash, and they're really cute. It's just there's not enough time. It's the bane of all of our existence. Not enough time to stitch. But yeah, so there's that I'm debating about for haul-wise, as well as some yarn. There's some really cute Halloween yarn that's out there. One is my Magic Land. I want to say Magic Land yarn. All of her yarn is Disney themed, and there's some, I got one skein that I'm working on. I need to cake up to make into a hat that I want to do, but there's some other cute stuff that I'm like, oh, that'd be cute socks for the Halloween season. So that's in that haul plans. What else do I have coming up here? Let's see. So plants. Talk about, there's some sales that I'm working on. There's the Autumn Nights Fat Quarter Shop Fall sale that you saw that started. So I'm going to keep on working on that one. There's some other great sales that are going on. Witch theme, of course, for the Halloween season. There's the Which Will You Stitch? Hosted by Java Girl Stitches and Anna, and there's more information on their website, but it's just basically a witch pattern. And then also Thistle and Thread is doing a witch season of the witch sale, and on Thistle and Thread she has some Zoom stitches, I think it is, some giveaways too, so check those out. And I might be stitching some Halloween stuff. I know there's lots of patterns that I have that I want to stitch with witches on it and Halloween. There's like Primrose Cottage's 13 Spooky Smalls, and then there's Jack-o'-lantern Jubilee, I think it is, from With Thy Needle and Thread. Oh, and then there's like the Winds of Autumn Blackbird Design. There's some in there that I wanted to stitch too. So tons of fall and Halloween things that I want to stitch up. So moving into that direction, maybe finishing up some summer stuff. And I got a lot of whips that are fall and Halloween as well that I want to finish up. That was the plans. I just skipped right over some other stuff though. Let's see here. I was also working on, I did a little bit of knitting this past couple months, but I did do some quilting. So see here, I turned down my hallway light so you can hopefully see it. It's on my design board that is decoration design board, half and half. But I used the Hey Boo line from Moda Fabrics and finished up this quilt top. The top is all done. It is, I want to say the pattern is called Charming Charlie. It's a Primrose Cottage pattern that uses a charm pack and then some sashing and border and such. I have that. I have the, can't see it anymore because I've covered it up. They're backing and everything. And I had this like, oh yeah, I'm going to quilt it myself. That's a big quilt. I've quilted things before myself. They're more like maybe 48 by 48, but not that size, which is also almost 60 by 60. So I'm thinking I'm going to try my hand and for the first time send something off to a long arm quilter. Who? I don't know. So if you have any good recommendations of long arm quilters that are good, there's a couple of them that are online that I've been checking out the pricing. They're all, you know, a distance away from me, so it'd be a matter of shipping it and such. But yeah, so if you have any good suggestions, let me know in the comments on that. But I was working on that one, and I had some other fabrics, so I made myself a little project bag with the same line. And then I just used the same little boo fabric on the inside. So cute little Halloween bag. Yeah, and so I might be doing some more Halloween bags. I know I got some fabric last year that was like, oh, I'm gonna make Halloween project bags, and haven't quite gotten there yet on it. So that's in the plans. And then definitely going to be making a project bag because there is the Harvest Moon that is coming up, and that, if you haven't heard about it, is a online retreat that is hosted by Lindy Stitches. Stephanie and her team is awesome at doing online retreats. I've done a lot of them. The main one that everybody hears about is Jingle Ball, but I've done like the Midnight Summer Stitch, and there's a Nash Stash one, I think, and now she has Harvest Moon, which is awesome. Some of them, they all have their own different flavor. Some of them don't have any classes, some of them do. This one coming up does have 2 classes. There is a witch hat pincushion that Lady Duck Creates is teaching. It's really cute, and then it has some like little bats coming out. But then there's also Carrie with Tiger Lily Designs is hosting a class, and it is a project bag. So you go to her website to find out more information. She has it posted on Instagram and on her website. If you go to Lindy Stitches Instagram, they have information in regards to it. And the Harvest Moon it's great. The online retreats, it's even if you don't want to do classes, it's only $15 and you do it in your pajamas. It's 2.5 days, Friday afternoon or Friday at noon, at least noon my time, I think, through Sunday. And there's meet and greets with some of the designers and such. There's speed dating, which is always fun, and you get to interact with people, as well as stitching lounges. You chit chat with people and you meet up. There's some people that I'm like already on Instagram, like, oh hey, hope we meet up in the stitchy rooms. So I'm hoping for that. There's also some great exclusive things that will be up for sale there in the shopping hall. There's the Stitch Crip, Stitchy Pros, Lindy Stitches, Lola Crow, and Fiberlicious is what's listed for being some of the people that will be in the shopping booth and everything. But yeah, looking forward to making that project bag. Carrie's great at putting up there the, what do you want to call it? Putting out some videos as well as teaching methods and such. And she gives great detailed directions written out with pictures and everything. It's awesome. So check it out and hope to see you there. And that is about all I have today. I've kind of rambled on a lot today. My videos usually go from about half an hour to maybe a little bit longer. I know I talked a lot today. Kind of depends upon what my mood is and what I've been working on. But I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like and subscribe. And I hope to see you next time. Until then, happy crafting. Bye now.